All right, your car's right in front of you.
They pulled up
Hang on.
in unmarked cars with fucking.
Where's your water? Can't see shit. Okay, I got you.
Wait, is this cop white?
Get my water? Yeah, right here.
What's happening here? Wait, what the fuck?
Negative 2938. Where are my damn glasses at?
Wait a minute, what the fuck? Wait, what?
Huh?
It's gloves? No, that's a hand. Wait, what?
Your left eye? Yeah. Left eye again? Yeah.
Oh, this is... No, there were two encounters. So they're saying that...
My glasses when he was fighting me?
No, it's not tight yellow latex gloves, dude. No.
Negative, we just saw him running down Ross. Split me again, right eye.
These aren't the guys.
Yeah.
Why are you so desperate to fucking act like those are tight yellow latex gloves? Bro, this is the first stopping. They stop him.
What's up? Right eye. All right, ready? Yeah. Well, right eye. Which way wrong? That way.
So that's the second unit. That's the gang unit, right? That's the undercover. That's the Scorpion unit, I think. Yeah, they pepper sprayed each other. That's why they're fucking. That's why they're fucking spraying water on one another. Also, I'm gonna run the ad break right now. I forgot to run it earlier. I'm sorry. Okay, it's just 3 minutes. You already know. I'm not gonna give you a fucking segue, chat. What are you, stupid? In the middle of this? Are you insane? There's a lot more. 5 of them are in the end. Yes. He's picking his taser back. Remember when Chats was saying that this is actually tight white latex gloves? Come on.
Like a camouflage jacket, like orange, green, and red. And
this is where the videos are, okay?
He couldn't that far.
2938, did you also read that I deployed my taser?
2938, I have that down. I have not a copy around.
Check.
1901. Check this together, yeah. 291 can help us find it just bit.
Check.
Run that tag.
That way. Thin male black, blue jeans, and a plaid jacket.
Hey, this I gave you the tag number on that vehicle. Can you get the information on it?
Good right now, guys.
Give me the address on it. Hey, what on foot? Southbound?
They found him.
Okay, so they find him.
Check.
Cascade Lane. Wrong in Cascade Lane.
Check. As you now off the Cascade Lane, what's happening?
I'm watching video 2 right now. I'm watching the second video right now. I can tell. Yeah, I know. There are, at least on the second video, on the corner of Castlegate Lane, they have him on the ground. 3 cops. One of them is just like kicking him in the face, stomping on him. A third white cop comes up from behind. Doesn't really do much right now thus far. Only 2 minutes in. Oh no, he comes in and he's also, wait, what? He has his baton out. Oh no, he's a black cop. He's not a white cop. He has his four cops and he's just like whipping him with a baton.
I hope they stomp his ass.
I thought he was white because of the, wait, is he white? I can't tell with the way the light is shining.
I hope they stomp his ass. Smith is calling for other cars because him and Martin are chasing.
Because I hope they stomp his ass. Okay, the 4th cop leaves. Comes back. Okay, right now on screen there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cops. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cops. There's fucking 7 cops on top of him. And it doesn't seem like they're stopping anybody else.
Stay right with the car. All right, I got you.
All right, we are watching this traffic stop unfold right now. We're going to play the second video clip in just a second. What you just saw there in the very first of several was in the initial part of the traffic stop right after it had started. And then Tyre Nichols runs away. One of the officers attempts to hit him by taser and fails. You then hear the chase play out on the radio. So now let's get to the second part of the video released by the city of Memphis. This one
I saw this. This one is very graphic. It's from a pole camera.
Street pole. All right, I'm sorry. Let me be clear. This is all coming in. We're doing this together. This is actually going to be from another body cam. So let me just play this for you again. This is another body cam from one of the officers on the scene.
You can see it. He's handcuffed, and they still are like beating him mercilessly as he's handcuffed on the fucking ground. I don't understand the video we're watching now. Did they show the first incident and we missed it? Yeah, in the beginning of the first body cam footage, you see a routine traffic stop.
Audio will start in just a little bit, but we do know here generally what's about to happen. Again, police body cam.
Everybody calm the fuck down, okay? I watched it already.
We do believe that what you will see here when the audio begins is where the actual beating of Tyre Nichols took place. So you should be aware that that's what you're about to see if you want to see this.
Wait, is this cam 3 or is this cam 2?
We have not seen it. And the audio is going to start in just a few seconds. So this is an officer driving up to the scene. As you know, Tyre Nichols.
Yeah, this is the third one, I think.
A police officer tried to hit him with the taser.
Because cam 2 is on the pole. I have not seen this one.
Chase ensued. This is the most disturbing one we are told that we are going to see of all this footage.
Oh, this is like personal, hands-on. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I looked at
southbound on Ross.
It was a bullshit traffic stop where they started tasing him and he ran away. And then they found him on the ground.
Hey, give me your hand. Give me your hand. Give me your hand. You might get sprayed again. Hey, Mike.
Oh, that's dude. He runs up and immediately pepper sprays him. I'm muting the desktop audio. You guys don't need to hear it, okay? He is just screaming for his mom. Yes, he died, for the chatter who's asking. Yes, you're going to hear it when I'm talking. Shut the fuck up. It's okay. Jesus Christ. Yes, there is going to be elements that you're going to hear. I already issued a trigger warning. Leave the fucking chat if you can't deal with it, okay? The fuck do you want? I would not get banned for this, and I wouldn't even get banned for showing the footage. I'm just doing it out of courtesy and respect that it's not, I don't want to show you fucking more gore porn. Okay? Yes, to my understanding, he's a couple houses away from his parents' home, or his mother's home. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, this is the guy. I watched it on the poll camera. He comes in and he says, "I'm going to baton the fuck out of you." He's already on the ground, and he's just smacking him in the head with a baton. Okay. He's literally on the ground. They slap him. They pick him back up. They slap him in the face. There is like no protocol. They're just like mercilessly wailing onto him. Yeah, they crack him. It's not even a slap. They just whack him in the fucking face. They're literally holding him, screaming, "Give me your hands," while fucking beating him. Now he's on the ground. More cops are involved, by the way. Here, I'll show you for a brief moment. There are multiple cops on scene. There are not just 5 fucking cops in the way that they presented this originally. Yes, the main 5 cops that they arrested are the ones who were like beating him. He broke his baton on his head. He's trying to put his baton back in. He can't because he broke it on the fucking victim's head. Okay?
Yeah.
At this point, he's already like, he's already fucking.
Let me get my car quick.
He's already in handcuffs.
2938, engine 55, just take the plane over here with me.
I don't think he could have shoved. I think he tries to shove it in. I don't think he was able to shove it back in. Maybe he was. It doesn't seem like it though. I want to point to something here. There's multiple cops involved in this matter.
That was the second
and
clip of 4 that we are going to get.
They did not fucking stop him. They did not stop any of the other cops. And for the record,
I'm going to baton the F out of you.
The same thing happened with Derek Chauvin. Remember, where no one stopped Derek Chauvin and they were criminally liable too.
What you're about to see here is an officer who's going to run to the scene where police are struggling with Nichols. And this is crucial because you're going to see the paramedics respond as well, we are told. Again, what you're about to see is graphic and difficult to watch. It starts silently and then You will hear the audio, but again, this is going to be the crucial part of when the paramedics came. What did they do and didn't do? We do know, of course, that 2 of the firemen who...
Yeah, the guy saying you want to stomp the fuck out of him was the white cop, yeah. Because he was mad he got pepper sprayed. When he was the one doing pepper spraying, both of the cops got pepper sprayed in the process.
After this, there is still another clip where you're going to see the sky cam footage from above, and you will also see, we understand, the beating of Tyre Nichols in detail from a different angle. So that's going to give us a lot more information. But what this is going to be is more of that actual incident itself and the paramedics arriving. So let's listen again into this.
I'm going to mute it as well. Don't worry.
Beginning, and let's listen as the audio.
Okay. I'm going to mute it, and I'm not going to show you this part again. You might hear it, though, from my microphone that picks it up. So... you can still see it clearly. He's just, like, holding him down. Dude, they're holding him down. He's on the fucking ground, and they're just kicking him in the head. Like, they're literally kicking him in the chest, kicking him in the head. Another cop comes in with a baton, smacks him in the head while he's on the fucking ground. Oh, and then the body cam falls off in the grass while they're beating the shit out of him. Yeah, they end up picking him off the ground so the other guy can wail on him. They literally, he's on the ground. He's like limp, and they're beating the shit out of him. And then they pick him up. And then another guy comes up and wails him in the fucking face. Like, whacks him directly. Remember the LA captain said that we left cops go on traffic stops, just said that every officer on the scene should be let go? He keeps saying, give me your heads, turn around. Give me your hands, turn around. Yeah, they blame them getting pepper sprayed or tired on the victim and take their anger out on him. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's muted because the fucking the sounds are awful, dude. That's why it's muted. There you go. They're just, it's at this stage it's mostly just people fucking it's mostly just the cops yelling because he's like on the ground. You can't see anything because this is from the body camera that fell. Probably did actually fall from how fucking aggressively he was wailing on the dude. You can hear his jaw. I think his jaw is broken. I can't tell, but like he's not speaking at that point. Like he can't even talk. He's just like they you can only hear the cops and he is like you can kind of hear him like crying, but But like he's just groaning and he's moaning because like he's at a certain point. At a certain point, it's like he was trying to speak in the beginning, and they just kept beating the shit out of him. They pick him up, they beat him in the face. There's no.
God damn, man. Man, this man here, man. You can just talk so much shit, man.
I can't make out what they're saying in the background. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna mute it. There's like parts where he's. Get him up? They say get him up.
Let me get some. In this ring. Come on. Together. On the other side. Look. God damn!
Oh, it picks up his body camera now. He put the body camera. They're claiming that he's on something.
Look, he couldn't through traffic. I'm talking about take folks out. Oncoming traffic and everything. Man, I got some camera, man.
2938. Does the fire department need to come down to you, or are you bringing him back down here?
Bring him down here. Bring him down here.
So they claim you can't see anything in this one. Chat, calm down. The audio was the worst one on this one. They claim that he's on something. I believe they.
Are you looking for your glasses, bro?
I think they claim that he is. He puts the body camera back on. I believe they claim that he has he was reaching for their guns or something, which is like pretty basic cop shit for the record.
Y'all see some glasses over there? Fuck. Gotta be high. I see him.
I can't see the yeah. Oh, they prop him up against the cop car. He's just like lifeless.
Yeah, I'm straight.
And they're just flexing. I'm not gonna show you this because you can clearly see him. But he's literally lifeless. They propped his upper body up against the one of the cop cars, and they're just standing around him as he's just fucking swollen, flexing about how hard they beat the shit out of him. He's alive at that point. And by the way, I can't count, but it seems like there's a lot more than 5 cops there.
My leg, bro. My knee. Bro, I said him. So you open the door. I see wiping his face. Hey, he took off running as soon as I seen him wiping his face, bro. Hold on, where y'all see him? Right here. He was running through the yard, bro. This why I got on. I said I couldn't see no more. Boy, you said that. We went through there. Yeah. Y'all said bald head, though. I was like, yeah. But then he started running, bro. He was wiping his face. I said he wiping his face.
Bro, he's still literally on the fucking ground. They're having like a powwow. They're having a fun little get together.
Okay, right on time. As soon as I took his ass to the ground.
So I like fuck my leg, bro. I know I'm finna feel this shit.
Bro, my shit been hurting all day.
Some of them might be EMTs. I can't tell.
That motherfucker ain't started no more, bro. Yes, bro.
They have no remorse, no concern. Oh, some of them are EMTs. Yeah, some of the white dudes that are coming in now are EMTs.
Hey, sit up, bro. Sit up, man.
He fell. They propped him up. Oh, fuck. They propped him up on the side of the car, and he literally fell. He's just lifeless. His body is lifeless at that point. And they pull him again, pull him up.
I see Bean tanking right here. I I ain't on my light in.
Damn, what my light go, bro? He got you. I was he high as a kite.
He's still, I think he's still calling for his mother at that point. I'm gonna mute it here, but they're just like they're literally on top of him, just fucking flexing.
You know what they are? Hell no, I ain't get. Hey, hold on, let me do my shit. Listen, man, I was hitting him with straight haymakers, dog. Man, come on, man. I'm rocking him though. He was rocking that shit.
You heard that? He said, "Man, I was hitting him with straight haymakers."
I jump in and start rocking.
He said, "Man."
What the fuck?
Man, I'm telling you, bro.
They're literally fucking celebrating it, dude. Here, this is like, he put the bot. Oh shit.
He on there, dog. Fuck, bro.
They're fucking laughing. A haymaker like punches.
Everybody got sprayed. I sprayed, he sprayed, hip heel tased, he jumped up, left the tased.
I sprayed, you sprayed, he tased.
Then he was going with he full of not dope, he full of dog. Then he was going for my gun too, so I'm like, he grabbed my gun and everything. Everybody was like, as long as I'd have been in a minute, man.
I know it's not muted. It's not.
Man, listen, I ain't even look. We got him out the car. We was like, hey, bro, you good? Motherfucker swung, wow, almost hit me. Then you reach for Martin gun, then when he slammed to the car.
Oh, reach for his gun? Yeah, bullshit.
On Martin gun, like that motherfucker on there.
Fuck me, man.
I don't know what that man. And he's strong. He's strong. Hey, he's strong as a motherfucker.
Mind that motherfucker so good.
Hold on a second. It's the goat, bro. That's more than dope. That's more than dope. He's caught strong and hot. That's what it is. What was he driving? This car.
I'm not kidding, dude. Okay, here's what I'm gonna say that's like probably gonna come across controversial, but like this is regular police protocol. This is like I've watched so much police brutality footage that like this is absolutely like this is just normal police shit, and I mean that. I mean that it's like this is standard shit. It should not be standard, and obviously it's gruesome and it's abhorrent, but like I guess the uniqueness is that they didn't use weapons on him, and they killed him with less than lethal methods, which are still obviously clearly lethal.
Right here? He was all the way around. Nah, I seen him running. Me and Real rode past him running, so I got him right here. He was wiping his face. Then he just took out running. Yeah, Hampton stopped on oncoming traffic. So we tried to. I'm talking about he didn't. Yes, all this traffic. So we tried to get him stopped. He didn't stop. We still instead of trying to get him stopped, hit the siren. Stop. That man drove around, swerved like he finna hit my car. So then I'm like, God damn, man, what are we doing? He pulled up to the red light, stop at the red light, put his turn signal on. So we jump out the car. Shit went from there. He got I lost my flashlight.
There's a reason why they're so careless in talking on body camera, by the way. That is why I'm saying that this is normal. Because they don't think they're going to get punished for this. They're callous about, they're celebrating their brutal beatdown. Understand that. That's why I was like surprised when the police chief was like, this is uniquely brutal. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, killing someone on a fucking random traffic stop? That's not unique for the police at all. It's brutal, but that brutality is not unique. There are aspects to this that are interesting though, or rather unique. Like the EMT's not doing anything and standing around. What the fuck are they doing? Like why? The uniqueness of it is that it was everything was recorded, multiple camera angles, and it was immediately released. It's released like 20 days after the incident. It's just like 20 minutes of waiting around as the cops are like talking about how good they beat the shit out of him as he like falls over multiple times. And then they don't do anything about it. It makes no sense. That part makes no sense. He's literally on the ground squirming as the EMTs are around him. I think the uniqueness of this tape is that you can actually hear their absolute indifference to his life afterwards. I've never heard cops celebrate a kill before. They do it. Guys, 1,176 confirmed kills by the police in the year 2022 alone, a uniquely brutal year for police. You think they don't fucking celebrate their confirmed kills on the job? Are you kidding me? Of course they do. They 1,000% do. The news said 2 of the EMTs are also getting charged.
Oh, we gave some over. What? 2913. You gotta go. What?
Yeah, I guess they fired the 2 fire department officials that also didn't do anything here and did not render aid.
Hey, Lou, come here, Lou. Kilo 3-4. Oh, we still need. He heard us. We over here on this. Why he over there? But when it comes to the exit for a car.
2901 kill unit still needed.
He was asking for y'all got to change. We was already on this. We was out this. Because when we made the stop, that's when we fight. I couldn't get on the radio at first because he got extra. What's the name? My shit on fire.
Kilo unit still needed.
My damn lips on fire. I don't even care. There's a whole lot of trying to tell me. Look right here.
Check kilo 34 units.
What unit transported that stabbed victim in to where?
Did he die here or in the hospital? I'm sorry if you already mentioned this. No, he died in the hospital, I think, a couple days later, or I'm not sure. Yeah, he died of kidney failure and cardiac arrest 3 days later in the hospital.
All right, and that portion you're just seeing at the end there when paramedics came, obviously pretty excruciating just to watch everyone standing as Tyre Nichols is lying on the ground. You also heard him there, of course, yelling, "Mom, Mom, Mom," and crying out in that, as well as the officers sort of explaining to each other what they said had happened. Now, we're going to play the final video for you now, released by the city of Memphis. And here's what this is going to be. This is from an elevated camera mounted to a street pole. So on this one, there will be no audio. But what you will see is Nichols being thrown to the ground by police and kicked in the head.
I've seen this one. This is the one I watched.
And dragged by police to a nearby car. All of this is going to be on this Skycam video, basically from a light pole near where this happened. So you won't hear it. You will see it, though, and it is incredibly graphic. So I warn you about that. I want you to know, of course, as you make a decision on whether to watch it, that is what you will see here.
Jesse
so
Waters.
Here it is. And in this moment, as it begins here, John Miller is with me, of course, formerly of the NYPD.
Jesse
John,
Waters
what
is
we have
already
seen so far,
crediting the 5 officers
and
involved
we're
in
about to
Tyre
see
Nichols'
now,
death with cleaning up
the
the streets.
excruciatingness of
They were
just
working on a
watching them
crime
standing
task force
around,
and they
so
made
many
a
of
lot of
them,
arrests
more than
and
the
had
5
really
who were
cleaned up the
charged
streets. But
in
to
each
watch this
instance.
is hard to see.
Yeah, so at some point you see up to 8 police officers on the scene at the
That's what he
second
fucking
scene.
said. As he's
But we're
watching
start-
these
it's-
guys
the story's
wail
starting
on
to
this
take
dude.
shape in that you see the first scene when the officer
Bro, this
got
is
the
like
body
this
cam
is
running.
kind of fucking stupid, but like I'm not even kidding. Just watch we run the city. Special units like the one that we're talking about, the Scorpion unit that was tasked with tackling gang crime, okay? And the real story of the Baltimore gun violence task, the special unit sanctioned with like combating gun violence in Baltimore, are we own the city. Sorry, are identical parallels where they are seen as like producers. You know, they are seen as these units are seen as like producers. Gun Trace Task Force, yeah. They are they're seen as like the best of the best in the force because they get results. And due to that, they basically have like a carte blanche approach where they can do whatever the fuck they want because they're like, oh, we're doing the hard shit that others don't want to do. Other cops don't want to fucking work. And Fox News is, by the way, Fox News has so far blamed diversity training for cops' use of lethal force. Doesn't even have to make sense. Doesn't make sense. They've also said these guys are working to clean up the streets and they're good providers. And I assume they will start talking about the protests soon. They will move quickly to talk about how like the protests are actually inexcusable. That's the real problem. I'm going to show you a brief moment of this from the poll footage because this is where he comes in with the baton as he's already on the ground being pummeled by 4 officers, and this other cop comes in with a baton to whip him in the head. They pick him back up and continue wailing on him. His hands, as far as I can tell, are already behind his back. One cop is holding him, his hands. One cop is holding his hands behind his back, and they're wailing on him as they hold him up. I'm going to show you brief moments of this as well. Look, as you can see, they pick him up and they punch him. Okay? There are 2 cops completely restraining him, picking him up on his feet as the other cop comes in to just literally beat him. You also heard from the original body camera footage of cops celebrating how hard they wailed on him. They're going to say he shouldn't have ran away. They're going to say these guys went a little overboard, but they're dealing with like really fucking, I can write it in my head already. While he was running for his life for good reason, justifiable as they killed him, they're going to say he shouldn't have ran away. They're going to say that, in the eyes of these guys who are dealing with like rugged gangs, criminal gangs every day, when they run away, when someone runs away, you just assume the worst and sometimes go a little overboard. A 5th cop comes running and kick him after he's already in cuffs. Yeah. It's a story as old as time. We've heard it this time and time again since I was Trayvon Martin's age, man. Yeah. Trayvon Martin was insane. Like, he literally, like, the media just all out justified the non-state sanctioned, like, neighborhood Gestapo. George Zimmerman operating on his own volition to just, like, target and execute a black teenager for the crime of wearing a fucking hoodie. Yeah, they at this point, from the poll camera, they pull him over to the car and they just, like, prop him up on the side of the car, and he can't even stand. George Zimmerman, yeah, he did get away with it, yes. Not only did he get away with it, he sold his gun years later. George Zimmerman was also going on a fucking conservative media tour, signing Confederate flags. You know, just think about that. Why was he doing that? When it was a justifiable. Why did he become a celebrity? Oh, that's right, because he killed a black teenager and got away with it. You need to know anything. If you need to know anything about the way this country works and the genuine disdain for people, the genuine disdain that, like, the average American has against, black people, black men specifically, there you go. He was signing Skittles, which is famous because Trayvon Martin had famously bought a pack of Skittles from the convenience store nearby. What? Trayvon Martin is why you fucks hate LeBron James? What? I don't even know what this means. I don't know why you banned him, but... But it doesn't seem like he's... anti...
Again, that's another officer. Then another officer just sucker punching him.
We have something in policing we refer to as the force continuum.
I'll be back in 1 second.
And that's where an officer starts with the lowest level
I
of
have to
force,
pee.
which is merely
But
their
they're giving
presence.
commentary on
then
it
it elevates to verbal commands, and then physical, and then it goes to pepper spray, a baton, and the worst case scenario is deadly physical force with a firearm. I don't foresee the need for the elevation above the physical force. I see a baton was used. I see officers kick this individual in the head. It's clearly excessive, but what's even more troubling is no officer was willing to intervene and say stop. I mean, there's a point where you have to intercede and say either stop or physically step between the officer that's assaulting the person and that actual individual, and that didn't happen.
No,
So
not even an intimation of such a thing happening. Charles Ramsey also with us, the former Philadelphia Police Commissioner and D.C. Police Chief. What do you see here, Chief?
Well, the poll cam video is the damning video.
Yeah.
The first video, you could see how aggressive the officers were in taking him out of the car. Obviously, they used pepper spray. They not only sprayed him, they sprayed themselves because you could see them getting the water flushed to flush their eyes and so forth. The second video, I couldn't pick up a whole lot from there. I caught a little bit of it, but the poll cam video is the one that is really justifies the charges that have been placed. I mean, is it beyond anything in terms of policy, training, or anything else? Nobody trains for that. And you know, I mean, these guys are acting so far outside of bounds.
Are
that, you know, you really can't explain it.
Yeah, I wonder why Charles Ramsey, former Philadelphia Police Commissioner, former D.C. Police Chief, would say that.
And so much that he's limping around. The other, when Nichols was handcuffed, I mean, he's throwing hook shots at him, punching him in the face. You know, I mean, it's as bad as it was described. I mean, there's no way of describing it any other way. I've not seen, I was looking to see if I ever saw a sergeant or any supervisor at the scene. It's nighttime, so it's very difficult. So I was looking for chevrons or something that would indicate a supervisor. I haven't seen that yet, but that's something that I guess the police chief would know whether or not there was a supervisor on the scene. But I haven't seen one yet.
Right into you and Darren both mentioning the importance of that. Joey, one thing that the chief just mentioned, you see the people standing around, and that is the
when
other
fucking
part.
when CNN has cops on to talk about how this one is like a tragic, unique instance of police brutality that is somehow totally different than all the other instances. I need you to understand that they are doing propaganda. That's it.
Did this too. And he's just sitting here. We're just watching this. He's continuing to stand there. You've got, at one point, if you count, I've counted at least 8 people.
It's really just
it's vile.
horrific.
But
It's
that's what's
brutal.
going on
It's very
CNN.
difficult to watch.
They have a cop.
I'll tell you this. My dad
it's
was
no
a
different than
police
the fucking Memphis
And he always
police chief saying like, "Oh, this is so gruesome. This is so violent. This is somehow very different." Like, come on, man. Come on. This is just regular cop shit. Okay? This is not unique to the way cops operate. There are a lot of instances where at least like they don't go so far as the people. Who would you like to speak then? Advocates, activists, victims of police brutality. What an easy fucking question and an easy answer. What, you think I didn't have a fucking answer for that? What do you mean? Like, not fucking cops. How about that? How about not people that are specifically doing propaganda once again? Pretty much everyone but, dude, when a fucking rapist, a serial rapist gets caught, you don't call up other rapists to be like, so what do you think about this rapist and the action? And then the other rapist is like, well, as far as rape performance goes, I mean, he really did a good job inserting his cock. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You I don't know, talk to public defenders. Literally anyone but cops. What a brain dead question. They're doing it deliberately. If he hadn't died, I don't even think that they would do anything about it. Now that the video has been released, reminder that the report released on 1/8 by the Memphis Police Department was, while attempting to take the suspect into custody, another confrontation occurred. However, the suspect was ultimately apprehended. Afterwards, the suspect complained of having shortness of breath, at which time an ambulance was called on scene. That's what they said. You watched the video. A lot of you already watched it. Do you think this reflects what happened in that video? On January 7th, 2023, at approximately 8:30 p.m., he had not died at that point. He was in the hospital at that point. Officers in the area of Rains Road and Ross Road attempted to make a traffic stop for reckless driving, which, by the way, they already admitted there was no such reckless driving. There was no reason for them to stop this person. As officers approached the driver of the vehicle, a confrontation occurred and the suspect fled the scene on foot. Officers pursued the suspect and again attempted to take the suspect into custody. While attempting to take the suspect into custody, another confrontation occurred. However, the suspect was ultimately apprehended. Afterwards, the suspect complained of having shortness of breath, at which time an ambulance was called to the scene. Suspect was transported to St. Francis Hospital in critical condition. Due to the suspect's condition, the District Attorney General's office was contacted, and it was determined that the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation would handle the investigation. Interesting. Why did they word it like that? Brother, Uvalde was a perfect example of this, okay? Because all eyes were on yet another instance of police malpractice and police negligence that I wasn't shocked when they lied immediately, and they lied over and over again. Police lie all the time. They have a term for it. They lie on the stand. It's called test-lying. They're so used to lying that they're like George Santos. They're like, oh, we're going to get away with it again. Why wouldn't we? We've gotten away with it every single time. And the media oftentimes goes along with that narrative. In recent years, that attitude has shifted even a little bit, marginally, while the media still plays an active role in propagandizing police as heroes and doing their best job to just like stop the criminals and crimers from doing crime to innocent, unsuspecting victims and stuff like that. They still are like maybe 3.5% more skeptical of police official records now, which is precisely why you see right-wing media lose their fucking shit and say the gay liberal media has a conspiracy to like want to kill cops. Let's not praise the motherfuckers for taking 2 weeks to fire and charge these cops. If he did not die, nothing would happen. They murdered an unarmed black man. Again, exactly. No, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. If he had not been brutalized so viciously that he ended up dying in the hospital, you bet your fucking ass. I mean, so many, you twist 3 of the variables in the story and you have yet another police brutality victim that goes unannounced. Like, for example, it goes unnoticed. For example, no poll camera. Body camera footage is way, way, way more damning with respect to the audio, but you can't really fucking tell what's going on in the body camera, especially because one of the body cameras falls off. No poll camera in that instance, and you can make this work. You can definitely PR your way out of it. You don't beat him. You don't fucking smack him with a baton or kick him in the head, and he doesn't end up like they don't end up breaking his neck. He doesn't die, even though he is like brutalized and his life is ruined for the rest of his fucking life. Yet another instance of police brutality that goes unnoticed. This is why I make it a point sometimes to cover minor versions of police brutality that don't end up in death. Okay? Because the 1,117 deaths that we know of in 2022 is the tip of the iceberg. They are the ones that everyone hyper-focuses on, but they are not the only instances of police violence. They are not the only reason why people feel terrified when they see cops, especially in certain neighborhoods, especially if you're black. Okay? It's every interaction that cops usually have with people that they have declared suspects, which they treat as though they are already guilty without any kind of fucking investigation conducted into the matter. It's those other instances that go unnoticed that make up the wide swath of police brutality that is the everyday experience that makes it a legitimate problem. That's the reason why people run away from cops, even if it's like, a reckless driving charge potentially. Okay? Because they get away with it. They play the role of judge, jury, executioner, and they usually fucking get away with it. I mean, he was brutalized so much that it was like he's like unrecognizable. His neck's broken. I'm looking at the photo from the hospital. It's just devastating. That's why I showed you the SWAT raid that they conducted in New Hampshire. If you remember when they did that SWAT raid in New Hampshire, one of the things that they immediately said when they walked in the house was, fuck cameras. Like, cops are pretty aware that like their actions are not going to be met positively. Not New Hampshire, sorry, North Carolina. I apologize. I mean, here, this is just from January 26th. This is from fucking a day ago. A Rhode Island police officer who was off duty and out of uniform when he shot an 18-year-old driver of a car he had witnessed speeding past him on the highway was acquitted by a jury Thursday of several charges. Pawtucket officer Daniel Dolan, 40, was cleared of 3 counts of felony assault, 1 count of discharge of a firearm when committing a crime of violence in connection with the encounter in West Greenwich in June 23, 2021. According to the investigation, Dolan was returning from a detail assignment when encountered a speeding Audi sedan on the Interstate 95 in West Greenwich. The vehicles exited the highway and Dolan approached the driver of the Audi outside a pizza shop where the driver and 2 teenage passengers intended to pick up a pizza to eat while watching the NBA playoff game. When the operator of the Audi tried to drive away, Dolan fired one round from his service weapon, striking the driver in the arm. The other teenagers were not hurt. Surveillance video from the pizza shop shows an unmarked white pickup truck pull alongside an Audi. A man in civilian clothes gets out of the truck and holds up what appears to be a badge. The Audi reverses away, and the shooting occurs off camera. Dolan said on the stand during the trial that he thought the car, going more than 100 miles, was fleeing from the police and showing a disregard for human life. And he got away with it. He said he approached the car to have a fatherly chat with the occupants about dangerous driving. The lawyer said he was in grave danger of being run over. Nothing like a fatherly chat when you end up fucking murking a kid, you know? Come on, man. Come on. Prosecutor said Dolan was standing to the side of the car, not in front, and the bullet went through the driver's side window. The driver's car, the car's driver, Dominic Vincent, who is now 20, testified that he did not know if Dolan was really a police officer or whether his badge was real. They let him get away, the teen's mother, Lisa Vincent, said outside. Cops, on duty, off duty, have special privileges, folks. Okay? Don't tell me this is like... Don't fucking tell me this shit is normal, okay? They do this to white kids. They do this to black kids. They do this to everybody. Is just unfortunately so normalized, and the media plays a fundamental role in that normalization. So, you know, I'm not going to fucking... And they still have the footage over here.
So all this time is happening as they're milling around, and as Sanjay was just telling Don, in critical condition. You have someone lying on the ground there, and they're doing nothing. As our coverage continues here, this is a special edition of Anderson Cooper 360, and I'm Erin Burnett, along with my colleague Don Lemon, who has been on the ground covering this story tirelessly from Memphis. All of our reporters and our experts are standing by. Van Jones is also with us. And Van, as we watch this, I want to emphasize again, we are not replaying it. This is not a clip. This is still happening. Nothing has happened. The beating now is more than 12 or more minutes ago, and he's just still lying on the ground.
Brutal, inhumane, unacceptable, unjustifiable. I mean, he's just now getting attention. A dog being beaten would have gotten some help from somebody by this point. And also, you know, we talk about the images. The voices are so telling. Tyre's voice, the first time you hear him, he's calm. He's trying to calm the police down. He's saying, all right, all right, all right. He goes from a voice of reason and calm. And they are so brutal toward him that he runs. The next time you hear him, he's gone from calm to panic. Ma, 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 screaming for his mother. He's 100 yards from his house, hoping that somebody can help him. And then he goes from a voice of calm to panic to agony, completely incoherent, unable to form a word. You watch this deterioration of a human being. If you couldn't see it, you could hear it. You could hear it. And then the cops' voices, profane, I hope they stomp his ass. Unbelievable level of viciousness. And then the only sympathy is for themselves, because they're so busy pepper spraying him, they're pepper spraying each other. Look at the reaction of the police to the pepper spray on themselves. They can't stand the burning, the sensation, the capsaicin in their eyes. They need help from each other, and yet still the beating is continuing for someone else, and no aid to someone else who got the full force of the pepper spray. And so even if you didn't see these images, just the voice of Tyre, you can tell he was the only calm person at the beginning. And at the end, he can't even form a word. This is disgusting. It's despicable. It is inhumane. It is shocking. It's as bad as people see humanity here.
John Miller, one thing that I think was so powerful as Van's words, as profound as they are, is the fact that there was no audio. And we heard the screaming on the police body cam, but the part where we could see it didn't have audio. And for me, that actually was more powerful, to be forced to watch something without the audio when I knew what was happening.
Well, oftentimes it's the view that allows you to stand back from the incident and not be in the middle of it and remove all the distractions of the sounds where you can see it most clearly. And that's what we just experienced when you
4 out of
saw
5 cops are
that
already out on
first,
bail.
baton strike, followed by the 2 or 3 head kicks, followed by the head punches that were going on, which was all alarming. But when you see what happens after, when it goes from this pitch brutality to slow motion, where he's lying there, there's a fire department unit gets there, an ambulance team, and they're standing there, and they engage with a brief conversation, and that medical bag is sitting on the ground.
Yep.
And they're still standing there, and an enormous amount of time is going by without a stretcher coming out, without him being put in an ambulance, without vital signs being taken, without injuries being treated. And as Sanjay told us, you know, we've seen multiple instances of blunt head trauma where his brain is starting to swell, a concussion is turning into something worse, and the 2 medical professionals are kind of standing around waiting for it's not clear what.
And Darren, this is what is shot 9 times in under 4 minutes, we understand from watching this, is how many times he was struck. And yet what you are struck by watching this is the complete and utter lack of urgency by anybody. It seems like there's paperwork coming out. I mean, that there's absolutely no care for the fact that there's a human being sitting there.
Absolutely. You have to take in consideration police officers are public servants. The public is not being served appropriately in this case. But I want to go back to another point that you mentioned earlier, Aaron, in connection with the view that we have, the silent view. The pole camera gives us an unobstructed view, whereas when we look at the body cam video from the officers, it's somewhat juxtaposed, it's bouncing all over the place, so we don't have the ability to gain a clear and concise angle, whereas the pole camera gives us a far more comprehensive perspective as to what's happening. Therefore, we can frame this accordingly. And then when we speak to the testament of a person that's in need of care, you as a police officer, it's commonplace for an officer to shoot someone and then turn around and do CPR on that same person that they shot. But we look at this situation, we have officers that are clearly embarking upon a campaign of brutality, and no one is doing anything to help him. And so it goes back to the failure to act, the failure to care, and the overall obliviousness of the officers that are just standing around when we clearly had someone that should have been taken into custody and removed from the scene.
Finally, you see a stretcher, okay? This is still the video playing out. Everyone should know it has not finished. We are not replaying it. This is still playing out. Finally, a stretcher has come. And Joey, as we're talking about this, when you watch it, you feel as if it's sort of everybody just ganging up on somebody.
You do. And I think, Aaron, that is part and parcel for why the prosecutor is charging it and acting in concert. Remember, there is no distinction from a prosecution perspective with regard to what they're being charged with. And if you look at the charges and you look at their conduct, I think you can match it pretty clearly and make the case in front of a jury. There are people who are asking, hey, is it murder 1? Is it murder 2?
Look,
My hell.
yeah. This is like, he's literally, look at this. Look at this.
I'm not bringing dude. Man, hell. My mama. Oh, yeah, my shit's burning.
Said, ooh, that shit was fun. That's what he said. Yeah. Bro, like, there is no, not charged, by the way. I know that motherfucker's tenured, or his fucking uncle, daddy is a somebody. Oh, yeah, the one that said,
oh, yeah, my shit's burning. I just
Oh, I thought he's saying my shit was
Yo,
burning.
my shit back up, bro.
Yeah, never mind. He's not saying that shit was fun. He's saying my shit is burning. I think he's talking about the pepper spray. They did celebrate the haymakers though. Look. These officers are disturbed. I mean, dude, they're not though. They're not. Like, I'm sorry. Listen. Making it seem like this is unique to how police operate is unironically propaganda. Like, they're doing this as propaganda. This is not in any way, shape, or form unique to regular police protocol. I'm sorry. Maybe people get mad at me for saying this, but this is not a fucking unique way.